Hey everybody, John Chernesky here. Welcome to another webinar, but we really appreciate you joining in because today is going to be a little different than yesterday. We are going to give you some skills to become even more proficient in using Polar online. And as I've said before, thankfully, I'm not the one doing the presentation because it would be basically wrong and it wouldn't help you at all. So we're going to bring in some experts shortly, but I just want to say welcome. And as always, this takes a little bit of time to get going and people to get through into the system and the webinar. We're hosting both on Facebook and on YouTube. So no matter where you're from, let us know where are you from and how's it going there. And then of course, let's not lose focus on a couple of important things. The hair, how's it doing? I think it's like a 9.9 today out of 10, not 20. Mickey from BC. I'm glad you're having great weather. Good on you, Mickey. Liz from Nova Scotia, Canada. Never been there, but I heard it's beautiful for about 2 weeks out of the year. Darlene from San Jose, welcome. I'm sure it's a little warm there. It's only 100 degrees here today. Pavarotti, what a singer, from Cruz Brothers in New York. So I won't sing opera, but yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of opera because my dad loved it and Pavarotti was his favorite. John B. from Palm Harbor, Florida. It sounds very tropical, Palm Harbor. Hopefully it's not in the middle of the state nearby water. Jeff from COVID capital of the world. Okay, that's a good distinction. Welcome. And Marvin from Alabama. Sylacauga? Did I do it right? Hopefully I did it right, Marvin. No disrespect if I didn't, but I've not heard of Sylacauga, Alabama. Billy from Republic, Missouri. Welcome, Billy. Good to have you. Is Missouri the show me state? What is Missouri? I forget. Billiana from Aurora, Ontario. I do believe that's in Canada, last I checked. You got to get good with geography. Sheila from Massachusetts, 90. And let me tell you something, 90 in Massachusetts is not 90 in Southern California. 90 probably feels like 174 with the humidity. Hopefully that is not the case, but that's usually how it goes there in New England, having spent a few years of my life growing up there and spending summers there. Hey, I want to share a real quick story before we get started. I thought this might be of interest. Cynthia, hello from Somerset, Kentucky. I went to Vegas for a conference earlier this week, and on the drive, I had two cab drivers, and I, 15-minute drive from the airport to the hotel. And on the way from the airport to the hotel, I started talking to the cab driver. I said, "Hey, where are you from?" Turns out he's from Eritrea, which is in Northeast Africa, formerly Ethiopia, right on the canal there. And I spent 15 just learning about Eritrea. Not many people are from there, and I found it fascinating. The guy just loved the conversation, asked him about his family and where he's from. Then on the way to the airport, I had a driver who's from Kyrgyzstan, formerly of the Soviet Union, and north of India and kind of west of the Nepal and all that. So, but just it's amazing what happens when you ask people about themselves and learn a little bit about them. And they both were so appreciative that I was talking to them, first of all, not on my phone the whole time. But it just goes to show just a little conversation, friendly conversation with your neighbors or strangers can go a long way. Okay, with that, and Nitish from India, Mumbai. Wow, welcome. That's quite a distance. Nitish, you win the award, and it looks like you were a crew member on board Princess. I see the badge there and the cruise pin. Great to have you with us. Awesome that you're joining in. Thank you. Okay, let us dive in. And I just want to remind you, if you're on Facebook, we've got the live transcript option available. So if you need a little help there, you can click on the captioning and you'll get all of this captioned. It's not available on YouTube, I don't believe, but it's definitely on Facebook. And we are going to have Q&A at the end, so stick around. And I also want to say, if you post a question and you see me answering, it's not because I'm multitasking, it's because we've got some great people behind the scenes. Stephanie's behind the scenes helping to answer, as well as Jacob on our social media team. So we've got some great help behind the scenes to make it all happen. But we're going to hopefully answer all of your questions as we go through, so you don't have to ask any. But anyway, let's dive right in. And yes, this is me, John Chernesky. That picture on the right, I don't drink Red Bull, but it looks like I had about a case of Red Bull. That was when we were sailing out of Seattle, finally set to sea, and just the smell of the fresh salt air, the sound of the waves got me really fired up. And so that is what was going on there. Now, I want to say yesterday we did a very in-depth webinar on our health and safety protocols. At the end of this webinar, there's a number of you that are joined us yesterday, but actually majority of you are new to the show, you didn't join in yesterday, which is fine. So I'm going to cover some highlights of health and safety questions because we're getting still a lot of questions about vaccinations, testing, masks, all that fun stuff. I will cover the highlights at the end, but just know, so I wouldn't waste any time questioning us right now on that. At the end, I'll cover it, and then if you have questions, happy to answer what comes through. But I will cover the highlights at the end. I just want to mention that. Now, at Princess, we are so excited that we are back to sea for 2021. Alaska, as you know, where I just came from, we are starting, I think, our third or fourth sailing this Sunday. I've lost track now. But we also have some upcoming sailing, California coast, Mexico, Hawaii, Panama Canal, and of course, Caribbean. And so get your clients out there. I like to say we have been so unfortunately blocked from cruising for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, that now's the chance to get in a cruise this year. And then plan something for 22 and 23. So I may be a little biased on that and selfish because I'm in charge of sales, but that's what I'm telling my friends and family. Get there's probably some good deals you can find for this year. You owe yourself an extra trip, so don't feel like, oh, I can only do one trip over the neck. Oh, geez, what's happening there? Why are people sending me Teams invites? So let us talk about, first of all, what is open now for sale. And now for a while, we've only been sold through or open for sale through the spring of 23, but now we just put Europe on sale. So of course you've got Europe 2022, which you should be focusing on with your clients, and a great diversity of itineraries. You look at the Mediterranean and what you can combine. I mean, yeah, you can do a 7-day trip, but Europe's a long way to go to for 7 days. You can combine that into up to a 34-day trip if you want. But anyway, check that out for Europe for 22 as well as 23. So options out there. And I also want to say, as you know, last I heard, Princess is the #1 cruise brand in Alaska. We carry more people there. We won a bunch of awards, but hey, we really take this seriously, and Alaska is what we're all about at the end of the day, and we really take pride in our presence there. And we are about to put on sale in just a week's time, 7 days time, the 2023 Alaska season. So just so you know, for those that have already booked in 22, great, and you want to go back in 23, check it out. We've got obviously great options for doing just the cruise. We got round trip sailings out of Seattle, San Francisco, and Vancouver. The Voyage of the Glaciers, highly recommend that because you get Glacier Bay on every one of those sailings, plus an additional Glacier Day, and then you get the 3 main ports of call. So I just think that's if you've got the opportunity to do that voyage, and obviously cruise tours, talk to all of your clients about doing a cruise tour. You go to Alaska and you don't even consider a cruise tour, personally, I think you're missing out. And we now have our Ultimate Cruise Tour, which allows you to spend 17 days in Alaska doing a cruise and then visiting all 5 of our lodges, which I was trying to do last year, and I got to reschedule that because we weren't able to do it. But we were able to do our Inside Passage cruise on the Majestic Princess. Some of the highlights of our trip, in case you didn't get to see it. If you're not following me on Facebook, and then you're missing out. But it was an amazing time. And yes, that is a whale flying. I did get that picture. I got very lucky with a great camera lens, and I also learned how to throw an axe. So that was great. My wife is actually a better axe thrower than I am, which is kind of scary. Okay, enough about that. Let's get into the show. We're going to do a focus on Polar Online about refaring and fare comparisons. But before we get started, let's do a poll. Let's do a survey and see where you are from a knowledge-based standpoint. Are you really good at this? Are you just here to kind of brush up on your skills, or are you like me, completely in the dark, and you're like, what's Polar? That's me. And so the survey is going to help us understand that. I don't think it's in YouTube. I think it's only on Facebook. So apologies to the YouTube audience. But we're going to push that poll out now just to get a sense of where you're at. And then at the end, we're going to do another survey just to see if you learned anything. Okay, so while we're waiting for those survey results to tally, let's bring in the first of our co-stars, Dana McCullough. Dana, welcome.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us, Dana. Dana's based up in Northern California. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself, Dana, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. I've been in the industry over 30 years. Absolutely love what I do. I started with Princess in 2015. Love the company, love all my coworkers. It's such a great product. It was my go-to product when I was a travel advisor. So I'm very, very happy to be working for the company and talking to all of you guys. So thank you for having me.
That's awesome. Now, how long were you a travel advisor, Dana? How many years?
27.
Only 27 years. Okay. Yeah. So you've got the scars to show it. You've lived the dream. You know it well. You know it as well as anybody. So it's great having you, obviously, on our team now, Dana. So thank you. 6 years now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Hard to believe. Okay, enough about Dana. Let's bring in Selena. She's our regular go-to. Selena's like, quit inviting me to these webinars. Welcome, Selena.
Hello, everybody.
A little bit about yourself for the folks who don't already know you, please.
I am a business development manager for a portion of the Southern California, and I've been at Princess for 20 years now. I just celebrated my anniversary recently. Starting at Princess, I started in reservations, went to our yield department. I was in customer relations for a bit. I was in public relations. So I went to a lot of different departments and gained some knowledge to hopefully help everybody that I work with.
Yeah, well, that's great, and you have a wealth of knowledge, and you've lived in the trenches. You know how the sausage is made, so that's the beauty of having your expertise in these presentations. So thanks again for joining us, Selena. I think this is our third or fourth one that you've done.
I think fourth.
It seems like 10, but probably four.
Yes.
So the poll results are here. So let's see, what do you all think? How do you rank your knowledge of refaring and fare comparisons? 3% say they're a genius. 41% have a solid grasp of the subject. 45% just the basics. 11% the John Chernesky category, deer in headlights. Okay, so we're going to try and improve upon that as we go through the show. And with that, I think we're going to turn it over to Dana. You're going to kick us off. So Dana, take it away, please.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So I have just some reminders we're going to go through. The first one, I am very, very happy about Princess Academy. For those of you that have been waiting for some of the courses to come up, Dine My Way course was introduced yesterday. I did it yesterday. It's a great course. It really has some great tips for Dine My Way. It will give you a much better idea of how that works. The third course will come out in early September, and then you now have until the 14th of October to keep your Commodore status when you go ahead and complete the courses. So that's a wonderful thing. Go on there and get that done so you can remain a Commodore. And then I want to talk about Princess Plus. So those of you that are familiar with this, you know that it includes the Premier Beverage Package, the unlimited Wi-Fi, and the daily crew incentive, which is formerly gratuities. It does come out to $95 of value per person per day. We also have the saver fares. So for those of you that have guests that want no perks and they just want the basic best fare we offer, that would be our saver fare. And that's how we come to the $40 per person per day. If you look at a saver fare versus Princess Plus, it is a $40 per person per day price difference.
So wait a minute. We're going to include $95 of value and only charge $40. Correct my math if I'm wrong, Dana. I believe that's almost a 60% savings. Is that correct?
You are correct. And if you notice here on the slide, John,
Crazy.
It's another stroke of Chernesky genius.
Oh, right. It was my idea. You're right. I apologize.
So the Princess Plus is combinable with Gap Amenities, military benefit, cruise sales, etc. And the big plus about this is it is commissionable, as you can see there on the screen. So if you have a saver fare, you get commission on that, obviously. Or if you have Princess Plus, which is a higher fare, you're going to earn more commission, and you're going to be a rock star to your clients because of all the great amenities that they get. And then I mentioned earlier the pricing options. So you have Princess Plus, which is our best value, including the drinks, the Wi-Fi, which the Wi-Fi is incredible, and crew incentive. Or you have the Princess Saver fare, which is our best fare, no frills. So
you know what I love about Princess Plus, and I think why it's been so successful, because the vast majority of bookings now are with Princess Plus. And here's why. The top 3 things that people are going to buy anyway are included. Yeah. Right? We don't discount the crew incentive because that's just money that goes straight 100% right to the crew. So there's no discounting there. But the discounting on the Wi-Fi, which everybody needs Wi-Fi now, and drinks, and even if you don't drink alcohol, the value is there. And I think the reason people get it, and this is why, seriously, I tell my friends and family when they cruise, if you're not buying Princess Plus, you're just wasting your money because you're going to buy that stuff anyway. So just save the money now, get it done. And I think that's why, my humble opinion, it's been so successful. And so I'll put that on my resume.
Well, that, and I agree with you, John. And also, I advise the travel advisors, if guests say, you know, I'm just going to wait, I'll get the drink package when I get on board, I want the saver fare, point out to them what that drink package costs per day just by itself. And you will see that huge value in that upsell of the $40 per person. So that's something I always mention. A little bit about Princess Answers. So this is something I use probably on a daily basis. You can see here that reservations use it, customer relations uses it. On the screen there, you can see the most viewed, medallion class resources, our Princess vacation protection information. There's Anything you need to know, you can find here. You just put it in that little search bar and it comes up with a lot of options. And I do use this on a daily basis when I hear from my travel advisors with questions, or when I just have a question that I need answered. Very quick, very informative. You definitely want to go on there and use Princess Answers. Another feature that I love that I have used myself is our chat feature. So you can see there on the screen, we have a OneSource chat, and we also have Polar Online chat. So Polar Online chat is 7 days a week. They can pretty much handle anything you can do by calling, except for things like easy air or things that might need to be escalated, a complicated type of a question. The OneSource chat would be for agency reservations and transfers and so forth. Also on that screen on the bottom left, you can see from OneSource, you have a direct link to the time-saving tips, Princess Plus, and then also the Academy information. So you definitely want to be on OneSource checking it all out. Another thing here I mentioned a moment ago is time-saving tips. This is a great place to find videos on how-to type things. I call them over-the-shoulder type trainings. There's past webinars. You can see there's a link there for that. If you haven't checked this out, I highly recommend you go on and check it out. I use this a lot as well, and I'm sending a lot of this link out to my travel advisors to very quickly find information. So it's a great resource to get a lot of things answered and watch a lot of videos. I mentioned videos. You move down on that top page when you are on that, and you can find the how to refair a booking using Polar, which is what Selena is going to cover today. You can also see guests getting ready to sail, making a payment, learning how to do easy air. So there's a lot of different videos on here that are very, very helpful, and this is being updated frequently. So in the future, you will find more things on there as we progress with Medallion and Dine My Way, etc.
Dana, these videos are each like what, 2 hours long? How long are these videos?
They're not that long. 2 hours, no. I found one of them I was on was maybe 10, 15 minutes. I think it just depends. But
I've seen some that are like 2 minutes. Like there's some that just get you in. So I was joking, obviously, in the 2 hours. The beauty of this is that these have been developed with ADD people like myself in mind. Get
yeah,
you in, get you out, teach you something. And that's why, hey, if you're here in a webinar listening to us talk about this, you're obviously interested in becoming better at doing what you do. And that's
yeah,
awesome. And so the time you spend doing this type of training, it just makes you better at what you do. So congratulations. And there's more resources available.
absolutely. And please do make note to check the time-saving tips, because it is being updated quite frequently, but it is a wonderful spot to go to and look for these kind of helpful videos. And then one thing that I want to say too is being that I've been in the business for a very long time and was a travel advisor for 27 years, when OneSource actually first came out, that was my go-to spot. I remember my Princess BDM coming into my office and, you know, talking about OneSource and the Academy and all of these things. And Princess was the product I went to first. It was the product I had sailed on the most and the product I knew the most. So for me, OneSource was absolutely amazing. It did everything I needed. And Polar, just incredible. I could be on the phone doing one thing and booking a Princess cruise and Polar at the same time. So as you guys know, travel advisors multitask. So it's a great thing to know. If you find that you need some help with this, there are some tutorials. There's also things, again, on the OneSource page where you'd find tips and videos. Also, reach out to your BDM. I've told a couple of my accounts I can do a quick video chat and kind of get them in to log in and kind of walk through the process. Selena and I also did a webinar recently that you can find on OneSource that you can watch that talks about creating a booking. And again, here to go ahead and get into Polar from the OneSource homepage, you can see on the top right there, book and manage cruises. You click on that and that takes you right into Polar. Also, you can toggle through those. You see those three there, Cruise of the Confidence, All Aboard Alaska, and Princess Plus, and the arrows below that. You can toggle between a bunch of different subjects and go right directly to those pages on OneSource. So really go play around on OneSource, really get familiar with it. It's a huge, huge, huge plus for all of the travel advisors, and we use it as well. So it's definitely something you want to get super familiar with. And now what I would do is I would turn this over to my lovely coworker, Selena, who will go live and show us some refaring. Selena.
Hey, Deborah has a quick question here. And apologies, folks. Selena and Dana, the way their systems are set up, they can't see any of the questions. So I have to remind myself to read anyone that comes in. So Deborah, great question. Love your little avatar there with your pooches. I recognize a dachshund, at least one dachshund and two other cute pooches. So Selena and Dana can't see it, but it's cute. I have clients who want basic fare, but they want to get Wi-Fi only. Our Wi-Fi only package is still available. I'll tell you right now, yes, you can buy Wi-Fi when you get on board. That's absolutely available. But again, I would say do the math, because if you add in what the Wi-Fi package is, I think it's like $10 a day, give or take. Don't quote me, but close to that. Plus then your the crew incentive, formerly known as gratuities, what that costs per day, you're almost halfway there. And if they have one specialty coffee and a couple bottles of water, you're basically at Princess Plus. So my last sales pitch, sorry for that. Oh, and Stacy's asking, what kind of drinks can people get who don't drink caffeine or alcohol? Don't drink caffeine. Is that legal? I don't think that's legal, Stacy. No, I'm kidding. For a while, I was off caffeine. I should probably go back to that. Yes, there are a number of, the bottled waters, the smoothies, the energy drink. Well, you wouldn't want energy drinks because that has caffeine. You then have some soda. So, if you want a Sprite or something that doesn't have caffeine, you can get that. So a really, because it's the premier beverage package and it includes the bar service charges as well, that means you're not getting kind of nickel and dimed with that extra fee thrown in. So it's pretty great. And having just come off the ship and the stuff we drank that was non-alcoholic, there's a lot to choose from. So anyway, take it away.
Okay, everybody. Well, I'm back, and I hope to give you some information that you can use going forward. I've gotten into Polar Online, and so this is the main menu screen that you'll land on as soon as the pop-up opens for the Polar Online booking system. Now we're going to walk you through on how to change a category and also refare your booking to a new promotion. So refare, what that means, if just changing your promotion on your booking, checking to see if there's better pricing available, and managing your booking yourself on Polar Online. If you get stuck along the way, don't forget we have this click to chat button towards the top right-hand side of your screen that you can always click on if you have questions along the way. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and click right here underneath where it says create and manage bookings. I'm going to click on manage bookings. Now you can do a search for your booking in 3 different ways. If you don't know your booking number, you can search by voyage number, or you can look at your agency's booking list by entering the ship that your clients are sailing on, their departure date, their first initial, and then their last name. I know by booking number, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it in there in that box, and I'm going to click on search. So this is the first page that you'll land on when you get into your booking. I want just to give you a quick tip here. As you can see at the very bottom of your screen, there's lots of fun, fancy buttons, okay? Booking information, pricing summary, etc. You'll want to make sure to scroll down your screen so that you can make sure to see all of those options, all of those buttons that are there for you to use. And there's a scroll bar then within this screen that you could, look down further into your booking, okay? So first, before I refare, I want to go ahead and make sure that I look at the category my clients are in and also their cabin number. So first, I'm going to look at this summary here at the top. It says category here, so I know my clients are in a mini suite, category MB. Their cabin number is Baja 331. If you're not sure what these category codes are, I'll show you in just a little bit to explain the category descriptions for all of the different categories that we have on our ship. First, we're just going to show you a bit more here. So you're going to make sure to note before you go into the refaring screen, you're going to note the category and cabin. Next, I'm going to scroll down the screen. It'll note your passenger information, their package summary. Package just means if they have transfers or possibly hotel packages with Princess. Any important notes that are listed here on the right side. And then you'll see where it says cruise fare information. Now this is their cruise fare, their total cruise fare. Okay, so if you want to, because you'll want to note how much they currently are paying for their cruise fare on the booking before you proceed to look into refaring, because once you get into the refaring screen, you won't have the ability to look at their cruise fare they currently have on their booking, and you will not be able to see the category and cabin number that they currently have on their booking. So note those things before you go further. You can also, if you want to break down the cruise fare further, you can look at their pricing summary. So again, referring to all these fancy buttons at the bottom of your screen, it says pricing summary. You'll want to click on pricing summary, and the next screen, it'll give you just more detailed information. Again, it'll restate the category and cabin number that they're in. Scrolling down the screen, it'll give you an air summary and then the per person breakdown of their pricing. So cruise fare, etc. When you scroll down, so this is their cruise fare, what they're paying per person. So what I will be doing today is I will be showing you how to go into Refair and see if there's any better rate that's out there for my client. You could scroll down further and look at the onboard credits. They have $25 per person onboard credit. If you want to scroll down further, okay, so land excursions, promotions included. So under promotions included, it'll have all of these promotion codes. I used to myself know what these codes were. That's just because I worked inside and I just happened to learn those things. But some of them I don't even remember anymore. So I don't expect anybody here to remember anything like that. It's just fun facts that my brain sucks and I doesn't let go of. But you can click on this orange magnifying glass to get general information on our promotion codes. However, that isn't necessarily the best place to go. You can look there, but it's going to give you very, very general information. If you want to find out exactly what the details are, the terms and conditions for all of the promotions they currently have on their booking, I would recommend to click to chat. I just used click to chat, gosh, maybe 3 or 4 times this week. I got in, gosh, I think maybe a minute or 2, I think it took me. I was testing it out and I asked my question, I got my answer, and I didn't have to sit on hold on the phone. So that's just another way for you to get more information on the promotions that your client currently has. If you want to look around your booking further, check to see maybe how they're getting that onboard credit that I pointed out that we saw in their pricing breakdown here. You can also scroll down, make sure again to scroll down to see all of the button options at the bottom of your screen. You could look at onboard credit to find out how they're getting the onboard credit you see on that booking, and it'll show you. So they're I have them booked in a group, so it'll show you that they're getting $25 per person, and the promo code is GS3. That's the amenity code that's giving them that $25 per person onboard credit. If they were under a different type of promotion where the promotion itself was giving additional, let's say an additional $25 a person, it would list that here and it would give you the promotion code that is giving them that additional onboard credit.
Cool. Selena, can
Yeah.
I just ask you on that, the onboard credit? So if somebody had like the military onboard credit or had some other credit onboard credit, it would all list in that section, correct?
Yes, so it'll show here on the promotion code breakdown that I showed you. But again, if you're not sure what those things are, but you see they have a nice amount of onboard credit, you can scroll down again, make sure you're scrolled down so you can see all of the buttons at the bottom, and you can click view onboard credit. And yes, it'll break down military onboard credit, group onboard credit, other types of promotional onboard credit. It'll break it all down right here.
That's a great feature. I used to see, you'd see $300 onboard credit and I'd go, what is all that? It's great to know exactly where to find that.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to our refaring and change category screen. So I'm going to click back again. So I end up at the very front of my booking screen. I'm going to scroll down so I see all of my buttons on my screen. Again, I've noted my category, my cabin number, and my cruise fare per person. So
hey,
I'm going to click. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Colleen is asking, will it show casino free play credits?
Casino free play credits, I believe, will show under special requests or gifts. So pricing summaries where you'd find other types of onboard credit. If you're not finding an onboard credit that your client should have, but you see that they have a large amount, or you're not getting the full explanation as to how they have the exact onboard credit that they have on that price breakdown, you can also go to special requests and gifts, because that's another area where you can see the various lists of possible amenities that they're getting from a promotion they're booked under, like a casino free play.
Cool.
Okay. So I'm going to go back. So this is under the special service or the special request, I believe. Yeah, special request / gifts. You can always look there for anything that might have been ordered for your client. If you send your client chocolate dip strawberries or promotional items that may have been added from a promotion that's on the booking. Okay, so I'm going to click over to booking information now. So booking information, this is a screen that will just give you an overview and different options really to dive into the booking further. You can cancel your booking here. Over to the right column, you'll see rebook or refare. Okay, so I'm going to click on the drop down. You'll see change category, change fare option, or change sailing.
Yeah, so we're not seeing it when you click down, Selena. This is that it's not showing. Okay. So repeat what, so imagine, everybody use your imagination. Selena's clicked the little arrow box down and she now has the following options. What are they?
Change category.
Yep.
Change fare option.
Yep.
And change sailing. So change sailing date.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so if you're going to change a category, that's the area that you would go in if they want to change their category that they're booked in. If they want to change their fare option, that would be if they're looking in to see what other fare options there are, if anything better is out, if you want to compare different promotions that we might have available.
Is this where you would go if you were Princess Plus, or if you were Princess Savers and you wanted to go to Princess Plus? Is that where you would change the fare there?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Notice how I upselled. Notice how I plugged another upsell to Princess Plus. I don't know. I'm so clever with that kind of stuff.
Well, actually, thank you for mentioning that, because on the special service or special gifts button that I took you on just a minute ago, when we were talking about the casino onboard credit or any gifts you might have added for your client, if you navigate to that screen, it would actually show you those additional amenities Princess Plus gives you. So it'll show you the crew incentive, it'll show you the Wi-Fi package, and it'll show you the premier beverage package. So if you want to verify that your client is on that promotion or that they just have those amenities added to the booking, those 3 items that come with Princess Plus, you go to that special gifts button that was at the bottom of the screen. Yep. And it'll show you all of those packages there for you. When I was on my screen, when I took everybody there, it didn't show anything. So that's one way of knowing that either the promotion isn't built right, which hopefully doesn't happen at all very often, or they're just not on that promotion. If you're not sure what promotion they're on, if you need details on what is included in their current promotion, what I recommend doing is click to chat, because currently in our booking system, there's no way for us to display the full terms and conditions of the booking that your client is currently on. You can look in different areas that I just showed you on that gifts and special service link under the onboard credit. But if you're not sure what any of those amenity or promotion codes mean, or if you want to know if they're booked under a non-refundable deposit and you don't remember, that should show you actually under the important notices on your booking and your confirmation. But if you're just not sure and you want to reconfirm what they have, what promotion they have, and the terms and conditions of it, I recommend always to click to chat. Okay. Before you refare. So you just know the full picture of what they're currently booked on before you proceed to look at the other fare options. And the chat representatives will be able to break down exactly what they currently have on their booking before you make any changes. Okay, so I'm going to click on change category now, okay? You'll see, hopefully, John, can you see that where it says now change category in the box?
I do, yep.
Okay, so underneath that, you'll see where the rebook button, okay? That's the link that you click on, and it'll bring you to the area where you can change the category your client is booked in. So it'll show the promotion that you currently have them in L1 because the promotion's still available. And this is where you can look at pricing by ship zone. So what zone is, it's just location on the deck. So if I know, for example, that my client wants to stay in their mini suite and they want to be midship, okay, I would just click next to where it says midship and I would save and continue. If I want to change their category but search by category list and I don't just want to search by ship zone on the deck, I can click this button at the very bottom of your screen that says search by category list. Okay, so I'm going to search by category list so everyone can see what that looks like. And it'll just show you a full list of all of the categories that we have. available on the voyage. Okay. And it'll give you information, promotion information, like right here at the bottom of the column, which just gives you NL1 Princess Saver. So I know NL1 is the Princess Saver fare, and it's a refundable deposit.
Okay. A quick question here from William. He noticed about the comment of dining migrated to ocean. So that was on the other side, or right there, in terms of dining options. So we don't have to cover it just a second. I don't want to disrupt your flow, but if you can, great. If not, we'll wait for just a second.
Yeah, no, I can just quickly.
Oh, yeah.
This just means that you can no longer go here and select their dining for them, where in the past you could click here in this section, anytime dining or traditional first or second. So you're no longer able to set your dining here in Polar Online. Your clients would have to do it in the Medallion Class app to select their dining.
In Dine My Way. And as a reminder, Dine My Way is available for anybody that is fully paid. So once they've fully paid their booking, they can have access to that, even if it's, you know, way down the road. Or if they are a platinum or elite member, okay, so if they have that loyalty status with us and they get the ability to make their reservations, or if they are in a suite. So if you're in a suite, then you get that access as well. Everybody else is going to have to wait until final payment. So that might encourage some folks, hey, I want to do my dining ahead of time. I'll final pay earlier, which is a good news for you as their advisor, because then we trigger the commission payment as soon as final payment is made. But for everybody else, if they just want to wait till final payment, then that's when they will have access to that. So long answer to your short question, but that's why dining is now kind of taken out of this process.
Okay, so
sorry, here's another question from Jim. Rocking some sweet 1970s era clothes. I hope that's your wedding picture, Jim, not from last weekend. If you search by category list to reprice, will you keep your original cabin?
So if you search by category, when I'm going through and I'm selecting before I get to this stage, you'll want to make sure you select the refare option, because when you select the refare option, that's when you can go through and look at the different promotions we have available and process the refare, just as long as you select the same category. So if I select the category MB, for example, save and continue, it'll keep my same cabin number. So yes, it'll keep your same cabin number you already have booked, just as long as you're selecting, of course, the same category.
Yeah.
Okay. So the columns here that you'll see on the category list will just be the categories, the status, W meaning wait list, and then if it's under 9, under the number 9, under status, that's how many cabins are truly available in those categories. If you see 9, that's just the highest number it'll ever show. So if it's 9, it could mean 12 or 15. If you have questions on that, you could always click to chat to get more information. But that's just a tip there when you see the numbers and what those mean. And then the fare amounts, that's just the per person cruise fare. Okay. Category descriptions, I did promise that I was going to show you that. So if you want to know what all of these category codes mean, you would just click where it says category descriptions, and it'll just show the category, how many berths can typically be accommodated in that category, or how many passengers, whether it's inside, outside, and then just a description and the deck locations of those various categories. Okay, so I'm going to go back. And I'm going to keep going back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us now to look at how to refare your booking. I want to show you how you can compare various fares that are available on a voyage. So I'm going to click here where it says change fare option. So you should now see change fare option. I got here just by clicking back and got out of the change category section of the system. So I'm going to click rebook now, now that I've selected change fare option.
Selena, while that's happening, a question from Tracy is, can you refare if the category booked is sold out?
Good question. So if you ever have a case where maybe your client didn't understand the full value of the Princess Plus promotion, they're booked in the Princess Savers fare, and now they want to refare to the Princess Plus promotion, they would be able to do that. But in Polar Online, if the category itself shows closed or waitlisted, you would have to click to chat in order for the rate to be adjusted to the, like in this case, from Princess Savers to Princess Plus, or you'd have to call in, but click to chat is just so much quicker. So you can just click to chat and they can assist you with refaring the booking. if the
Okay.
category is closed or relisted.
Okay. Great.
Okay, so now we're going to look at fare comparison. So again, you can look by ship zone, midship, aft, forward, etc. You can actually change category even here if you'd like. There is a drop down here. You probably can't see it, but when you click the drop down, it'll just show you meta, which is just category types. So suite, mini suite, balcony, ocean view, and interior. I'm going to leave it on mini suite. And I'm going to go ahead and search by category list, just because it'll right off open the full list and full options that you have, basically. So I'm going to scroll down here. So it's the same fare selection. It'll give you the category, status, price, and the promotion code. Okay. I did note what I had my client booked under. Okay. So they're on an NL1 promotion. And I'm going to go here and I'm just going to look to see, because I know my client, for example, wants to rebook to the Princess Plus promotion. I click to chat. They told me I'm on a saver, so I don't get any of those fantastic Princess Plus amenities. So I'm going to click fare comparisons, because let's just say I don't know what NPP means. You could click to chat to find out, but you can look here too. You can click on the bottom where it says fare comparisons. When you click on fare comparisons now, it'll bring you a list of all promotions that we currently have available. If you want to look up any expired promotions, let's say your client talks to you about a certain promotion they thought they saw, or you didn't realize one of our promotions that was available 2 months ago, it had an expiration date and you don't see that promotion here. You can click where it says include expired promotions, and it'll just give you the full list of all promotions that were at one point available on the sailing your client's booked on. And it'll just show you over in the advisory column, whether it's expired or, you know, what the case is. At the bottom of your screen, you can see where it says additional fares. You can click on that if you'd like. It'll just bring up any additional fares that might not be showing on the first screen you were at. If you want to get back to where you were at, you would just click where it says standard fares. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and compare two different promotions. Okay. So I know my clients are on this NL1 promotion, so I'm not going to select that category. I'm sorry, that promotion. I'm going to click on where it says Princess Plus, refundable deposit. Okay. I'm going to select NPP, but I also want to look at group pricing. I want to compare the two. Okay. A little fun fact, all of our group promotions or pricing now includes Princess Plus amenities. So when your client is, or when you block your group space, just know that any voyage that you have booked is going to automatically include Wi-Fi, the premier beverage package, and the crew incentive. Okay. If your client wants to book, let's say they don't want those things for whatever reason, you can book them into the Princess Savers fare, because Princess Savers is combinable with groups. So you can still pull them into your groups. They'll still get those group amenities and count towards your TC or tour conductor credits. But they just won't have those added amenities. Make sense? Hopefully.
Does.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to save and continue now. Because I'm going to compare the two prices. I do want to make note that there are some promotions built to populate important notices. Okay, so the fare code NPP, it'll just break down the policies of that promotion, what's included, whether it's refundable or not. So in this case, guests who booked this promotion pay a refundable deposit and receive the following. And it'll just detail everything they're getting. And you have to click right in that box where it says I've read the notice listed above. You have to acknowledge the important notice, and then you save and continue. So if you save and continue, it'll again bring you back to the ship and zone. And that's fine if you want to make sure that you're looking by midship. If you want to make sure that you're just refaring them into the same category that you had them originally booked in, you can go back also by search by category list. And it'll just give you the two promotions you had selected. So your group promotion and then the Princess Plus promotion, it'll show side by side what those rates are. And then you basically, so let's say that I want to refare to a different category in this case. You can also refare to a different category in this. Let's say for some reason your client wants to go down to a deluxe balcony, category DB. If you look at the group column versus the Princess Plus column and the pricing comparisons, you'll see that the DB cruise fare is $2,259 per person versus the Princess Plus at $2,314 a person. But the great thing is you can book into your group fare and they'll still get those Princess Plus amenities. So, of course, I'm going to book my client in the better fare because I held that group space because I thought ahead and I'm making sure I'm getting my client a competitive price into my group. So I'm going to click here next to where it says DB. I'm going to save and continue. And it'll just give me a per person breakdown, passenger 1, passenger 2, cruise fare, and the following. Okay. I'm going to save and continue because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to proceed and change their category and promotion. So the LG1, it'll give you again an important notice just going over everything that's included in that group fare. If you have any questions on the LG1, what does that mean? Is there anything I'm not seeing here? Click to chat and ask any questions you have about that promotion or anything else. You have to acknowledge that you read those important notices, save and continue. You'll then select your cabin number. So because I've changed my category, it'll give me a cabin list. So I can choose the cabin that my clients are going to be moved to. If I did not change my category and I just kept my client in the same category, it wouldn't show this step because it'll just keep the same cabin that I have them in. Okay, so I'm going to select Dolphin 511 and I'm going to save and continue. And my record's been updated. And I know that because at the top, towards the top right hand, it'll say record updated.
We had a couple questions about that, Selena, about when do you know it's final? So we had earlier comments about that. So that's when you know it's actually done.
Yes, it'll show record updated right here for you. Okay. You can print the page in a printer, or if your settings are changed to save your document as an electronic version, you could print, and you won't be able to see my pop-up, but you can print it for yourself or save it to your computer so that you can email it to your client or save it for yourself. You scroll down and again, it'll just give you a breakdown of everything that you have booked. Scroll down, you can click on view onboard credit or just look here and make sure that your client didn't lose any of that onboard credit. And that's basically it.
Can I ask a couple questions related to this that have come through? One is, can you book your clients into any group? That's from Sarah.
So if your agency has taken out, or even your consortia, if you belong to a consortia, if there's any speculative space that had been taken out on a voyage, yes, you can book into a group. The group code would automatically just be added onto your booking. Or if individual travel advisors have taken out a block of space, yes, you'd be able to book into the group in a way of being able to utilize those amenities. Your cabin that you book would then count towards the tour conductor credit on the group itself. It just depends on also though how the agency works. Private groups, like for example, if I have my own private reunion group and I don't want my fellow travel advisors booking into it, we can note your group for you. But our system is developed to automatically add bookings into groups so that they can all count towards the TC and still all get the amenities.
Okay. I'm mindful of time. It's 11:48 California time here. And do we have pre-submitted questions that we have to get to?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm going to quickly go through the health and safety stuff. Is there anything you're needing to show, Selena?
No, that was it.
Okay, so let me just ask a couple of these and then we'll get to the pre-submitted and then we'll jump to health and safety. Can any cruise rate be rebooked if there is a lower fare?
If any cruise fare that you currently have booked can be refared. However, that being said, if the new promotion is for new bookings only, or if there's any policies like that, then you might not be able to refare to the new promotion. If you have questions on that, you can click to chat.
Yeah, thank you. That was from Paula. Good question. Lori is hoping that the system can be updated to allow for more than 2 promos to be compared. Is that on your Christmas list as well, Selena?
It would be. That would be nice. Okay. I know we're
going to move on from that. Yeah. It's not happening anytime soon. But good point. I think it's on the list. Yeah. Let's see. So Sandra, you want to see this again? Absolutely. This is all recorded and it'll be hosted on one source, so you can rewatch this webinar. This is from Joyce. Can travel advisors unlink bookings to be able to refare? So if they're linked to maybe they're tied together, I guess, or I'm not sure if this is a tied together or part of a group. They want to be able to refare them individually.
If you have a booking that is linked because they're sailing back to back, you don't need to unlink them to refare. But if you want to for some reason, you can. But there's no need to do that. There's no need to uncross like if people are cross-referenced, if that's what they mean by linked. There's no need to untwid somebody or.
Okay, hopefully we got your question right there, Joyce. And then Jeff is asking about FCC. So if you have an FCC as part of the booking, will the refare also include the FCC?
So if you have a future cruise credit that's already been applied to the booking and you refare to a different promotion, that future cruise credit shouldn't fall off the booking. If you just want to reconfirm, look at the passenger pricing. There's an FCC line right here. And if you had a future cruise credit, it should still show here. If for some reason there's a glitch in the system and you don't see it anymore, click to chat and we can make sure to add it back onto the booking.
Okay. Shelly's asking, is the Wi-Fi unlimited or a time package? So when you buy as part of Princess Plus, it's unlimited Wi-Fi, which is pretty cool. So I'll answer that one. And then Kathy's asking about, she had an issue where there was a rebooking, it sounds like, and then there was the military onboard credit as part of an agent rate booking. Can he still get his OBC for military if he's booked under a travel advisor rate? Are they combinable?
That's a good question. I don't know. Dana, do you know? I thought they were, to be honest, but
Good question.
I think they're not combinable. I think this has come up before, but I have been wrong once or 3,000 times before. So good question, Kathy. We'll have to look up that issue for you. But normally it's always there, no matter what. It's combinable with almost everything. So that's why I think our default is probably it should stay. But if it doesn't, it might be because it doesn't combine with TA
But
rate.
also make sure to know that you can't refare to a travel advisor rate. So if you're on Princess Plus and you see a travel advisor rate now available, travel advisor rates are for new bookings only. So you'd have to cancel your booking and start over.
I think Kathy rebooked. She had to go through that. So I think she went from having it to not. So with that, final question, which is going from Melissa. Can you refare after final payment?
You can. Just as long as the promotion's not for new bookings only, you can refare your booking, whether deposit or final payment has been applied.
Okay. So Wendy's saying, I was not able to combine my TA rate and military onboard credit. So I think because of the discount that goes into the TA rate, that is one of the very few instances where we don't allow the military benefit to apply as well. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, what are the pre-submitted questions we have, Joe? Do onboard credits disappear on a refare?
No, they should not, unless it depends what type of onboard credit it is. If you're getting an onboard credit from a deposit future cruise credit, no, the onboard credit shouldn't disappear. If it's from a group, no, it shouldn't, as long as the promotion you're refaring to is combinable with groups, and which most of our promotions are. But if you're getting onboard credit from the promotion you're moving away from, then yes, the onboard credits would go away with the promotion you've refared from.
Okay. If we are looking to possibly refare a booking, do you automatically lose what promo or rate you currently have by just looking?
No, so you have to go through and actually confirm the refare on your booking. So you can look without actually saving your changes.
Okay. Linda, by the way, on a side note, is asking, are TA rates available for Commodores only? Who gets to get a TA rate?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was any travel agency who has a minimum of 4 booked and deposited bookings qualifies for travel advisor rates.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. It's not just for Commodores. Definitely go get Commodore status because you get elite benefits when you travel and a free cruise and all that stuff, but it does not mean only you can get a TA rate. Okay, next up, where can you find the meanings of all of the promotion codes shown in Polar Online? I'll give you Selena's cell phone. If you just text her, she has them all memorized and she'll send them to you. It's 310. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's not it. But no, you click to chat or underneath where it says promotions included. You can look there, click on that magnifying glass. But you could always click to chat.
Okay. Tammy's asking, can you get Princess Plus with your Commodore booking or TA rates?
You certainly can. Yes.
Yeah, it's the $40 a day, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
If you refare a booking by mistake, can you get the original promotion back onto the booking?
Okay, so if that is the case, if the promotion is closed or any of that situation, you would have to click to chat or possibly call in if it's more of an escalated situation, because at that point we may end up having to call our systems department or team so that they can open up the promotion and get it applied back to your booking. We'd have to review the situation basically and see what we can do to get you back.
Okay. I've had 2 questions about you've refared, you got a lower price after final payment. How do you get the money paid back? What happens to the extra cash? Does it go to my bank account or who does it go to?
It'll show here if you have an overpayment on the booking underneath where it says commissions and payment due, where it gives you the breakdown of everything received, etc. It'll show you if there's a refund to go back here.
Okay.
And so it'll go back to the passenger's card that was used for
It'll trigger a refund back to them, the form of payment, basically.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you refare a booking after deposit or final payment?
You can refare it at either time, just as long as the promotion's not for new bookings only.
If the inventory is sold out for a particular cabin type, but the price has gone down, can it be refared, and if so, how?
Yeah, so if the category is waitlisted, but normally if a category is showing waitlisted, you might not see a lower cruise fare unless you're going maybe 2 Princess Savers from Princess Plus. So it doesn't have that extra $40 per person per day built into the cruise fare. So you would just have to click to chat because you won't be able to refare if the category shows waitlisted or closed in Polar Online. But you can do it.
Okay. Can you reprice a booking in Polar multiple times? Sounds like you can.
You can, yes.
Yep. Okay. Hopefully we're getting near the end, Joe, because we are getting tight on time. How many more do we have? 74. Let's take a quick break to do a survey. Okay, so we're near the end of that. We're gonna do a survey to see what you thought and what you now think about your abilities to doing these refaring and price checking and all the stuff that Selena has and Dana have walked you through today, which is awesome. So we're gonna let that sit for a minute. And then I'm gonna, we did questions, health and safety. I'm gonna spin through this really, really fast, and apologies. And bottom line is, we did a really in-depth webinar yesterday with Dr. Brenda Barneson, who is our Director of Clinical Services. Dr. Barneson, I don't know if did I say Director Barneson? It's Dr. Barneson. She's our Director of Clinical Services. And man, we spent an hour going through this. And so I'm gonna encourage you to watch that webinar in full if you haven't already. But just reminder on vaccination requirements. All guests for the remainder of 2021 on Princess Sailings need to be fully vaccinated with the last dose 14 days, at least 14 days prior to the beginning of the cruise and showing proof of vaccination. Effective August 15th, we made a change where voyages through the end of October, so it's not 22 or 23, just for the short term through the end of October, we're requiring pre-cruise testing and mask requirements on board in certain areas, which we've defined. And this is, I mean, with the Delta variant and the cases going up, we're doing everything we can to avoid, even though the voyages are fully vaccinated with guests and crew, we just want to do our part and make sure that we are not making the situation any worse. We're doing everything we can to control it, because it's very common to be asymptomatic, meaning you don't show signs of it, and then have it. And even if you're vaccinated, it's really easy to transmit it. So that's why we have done this. Those mask requirements are guests 12 and older. There's a number of areas in the elevators, indoor entertainment areas, when you're in the shops, the casino. If you're eating or drinking, obviously you don't have to wear it, but those guidelines are hopefully very clear right now. And it's up to you if you want to wear them in other places. On the voyage I was on, there was no mask requirements, and I'd say about 30% of the people wore them just out of their own precaution, which is up to them. Pre-cruise testing is now required, and so this is getting a lot of questions because the test has to be taken within 3 days of the embarkation date. And I'm going to show you what that means in just a second. You need to show that proof of the vaccine along with the vaccine and the testing, right, before, as part of your check-in experience. And we don't have testing in the terminal because of the volume of people and how long it would take if everybody wanted to do it. We don't have we have ability on board to test, but we don't have huge capacity. And so we want to make sure everybody is done ahead of time. Now, so what does this mean? So let's, on the far right, you're getting on the ship on Sunday, day 3 embarkation. So that means you can get the test done. You can get it done that same day. There are rapid tests, rapid antigen, rapid tests are available, and those do apply. Make sure, I learned yesterday, it's not a rapid antibody. That does not apply. Rapid antigen or a PCR test is what is acceptable. So you can get it done on Sunday. You can get it done on Saturday. You can get it done on Friday. And you can get it done on Thursday. You cannot get it done on Wednesday. You have to start the Thursday before because it's that 3-day window. It's 3 days, not 72 hours. If it was 72 hours, it would be even more complicated because depending on what time you embark versus what time you had the test, you might be at 74 hours, which would make it not appropriate. So hopefully that makes sense. And then listen, this website we update it all the time. It's princess.com/cruise health FAQ. This is a dynamic site. That's why I'm recommending don't try and memorize the answers. Don't print them. Every time somebody asks you the question, I would go and check to make sure the rules haven't changed because it does change frequently. So hopefully that makes sense. But please check this page, share it with your clients if you want, or just bookmark it so you have easy access to it. And like I said, that webinar that I did yesterday with Dr. Barnettson, she went to medical school. I did not. It was very helpful to have her insights, is what she deals with all the time. We walked through a lot of this, and you can check out that webinar on OneSource. So please, I encourage you to watch it if you haven't already. If you're not already following me on Facebook, please do so. Go into Facebook and search for Princess VP Sales. Don't use my name. This is a work account, and when they fire me, they want to keep it going with somebody else. So please check that out. And then with that, I just want to say thank you so much to Selena and Dana for all of your insights and sharing it with us. Thank you all for joining us, but let's see the results. How did you all do? 14% are now are genius. I think it was only 3 at the beginning. 70% solid grasp, that's great. 13% still just the basics, and 3% down from 11%, 3% deer in the headlights. So I would probably still rate myself deer in the headlights because polar, I'm never going to learn polar. It's like the Matrix. I'm like Keanu Reeves, only I don't do this. I just get hit in the head with it. So thanks everybody for joining in. Selena, thank you. Dana, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you all soon. Take care. Be safe, be healthy, get vaccinated, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.